So in this scenario, I'm going to briefly go through what error codes you'll see on our Navien Smart Plus. The first one being E001. That means a fault has occurred on the boiler, but doesn't have any relevance to the fault code on the boiler. So you'll need to go to the display to check what the fault code is. Then you'll have E002, which means that you have lost wireless communication between your room thermostat and your wireless receiver, and you just need to check that wireless connection. Either you may have poor batteries or weak batteries, or this is too far away from the receiver. You then have E004, which if you're using the wiring center for a system boiler with an unvented or cylinder stat, you've got two connection types there. You've got an NTC temperature sensor or a cylinder stat. So it just means you've chosen the wrong type of stat for that controller. And then the last one is E008. E008 is where the orange communication cable between the boiler itself and the receiver on the wall may have a loose connection. So please, the most obvious one would be to check, is the block in the back of here? And it's quite simple, it's probably just a loose connection. So in this scenario, I'm going to talk you through if your wireless room thermostat that you have here loses signal because you've placed this unit maybe slightly further away from our wireless receiver, and the signal bars, like a mobile phone or a Wi-Fi device, will lose signal the further away you are, or if there's any restrictions in between it. So the easiest way is to walk the controller out to where the area that you would like to place it, and just keep an eye on the signal bars in the top left hand corner. But if you're an installer and you wanted to go into a little bit more depth and have a look at the signal strength, you can do that by pressing and holding the info and enter button. You then go to number 3, click enter. You'll see a number there already, so you've got 41. You click on enter and then enter again, and a little box to draw, and then you'll see another number. The lower that number, sort of around the 30s, is a very high or strong signal. Anywhere between sort of 50 and 60 is sort of mid-range. But if you're seeing anything up in the 90s or nothing at all, then it means your signal is right on the edge of its signal strength or past that. So that gives you that extra bit there to benefit you as the installer. But as a homeowner, it's just nice and simple. You can look at the signal bars in the top left-hand corner. So in this one, the batteries have actually died on one of your controllers. So all of the controllers are paired. So these are paired for life. So you should never need to go through any other pairing process. Only if you were to replace this as a physical item, then you would need to run through the pairing process just for this item here. But in this one, the batteries have died and your receiver is showing a green light, which showing that there has been a loss of signal to one of your controls. All you'll need to do is replace the batteries as you'd normally do by removing the back cover, pop the 2 new batteries in. You'll have that come back on again. Sometimes you may find that the signal may come straight up. If not, and you need to do a hard reset, it is as simple as switching off on here. What that'll do is kill both the lights on the receiver. Once they drop out, then you'll bring that back on after that 30 seconds, and then they will start to look for all the controls that are connected to the boiler, and then that will then go from the red to a green and back to a solid blue. And you should then see the signal bars, if you didn't before, in there. And I hope that helps you going forward.